In this video we're going to thaw some frozen pipes. One of those jobs is a frozen outside tap, which is normally relatively easy to fix. In the UK at the moment it has been negative figures for at least a week, and yesterday it was about -9 degrees C. I know that's pretty warm compared to some places in the world such as Canada, but in the UK that is quite cold and it can cause quite a lot of problems with pipes freezing, etc. You do have to be aware that when a pipe freezes, if for example it's copper and it can't expand, there is a chance that the pipe will split. It's only when the weather starts to get warmer and the pipe thaws, you may have a flood on your hands. So you do need to be very careful and you need to be aware of things like that happening. Obviously prevention is much better than cure, so if you can, it's a good idea to lag any pipes that might freeze before the bad weather comes. Obviously if you're watching this video you may not already know that, so we're going to look at a couple of ways of how to safely thaw some frozen pipes. It doesn't matter if the pipes are plastic or copper, but a copper pipe does have more chances of splitting because it can't expand like a plastic pipe can. In this first example we've got a frozen outside tap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a freezer bag and I'm going to fill that with some hot water. Obviously if the water supply to the house is frozen, you may need to use some bottled water and you may need to heat that up in a pan or in a kettle, etc. What you don't want to do is get boiling hot water because that can be dangerous. It only needs to be hot. And we'll just seal that up and then we'll take that outside, put it on the stop tap. We can now actually open that already. So the tap's in the open position now with the bag on it, and hopefully there'll be enough heat in that. It'll just melt the ice that's in there and we'll be able to get some water. Of course you can stop this from happening by installing a outside tap cover, which I've covered in another video. So that's a quick and easy way to thaw an outside tap when it's frozen. This time we're going to defrost this pipe, which is the main incoming pipe to the property. As you can see there is a stop tap there, and what tends to happen is the pipe that comes out of the ground can sometimes get frozen, or the water in there can get frozen. I've actually got a digital thermometer here which is infrared. And if we can get that on the pipe, you can see that that is -11 degrees, which is obviously very cold. The stop tap is -12. So in order to thaw that pipe out, we need to apply some heat to it carefully. You could use something like that, which is a cordless heat gun. That would generate enough heat to thaw a pipe like that out eventually, but you're much better off using a fan heater. So this is the one that I've got, which is a Stanley, and I often use this in the workshop. So I've got the heater quite close, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to heat underneath the stop tap where the water comes in from outside, because that will be the coldest part. Eventually when that thaws you will get water back at the tap. We're now inside the property, and as you can see we have no water at the tap. I'm going to leave the tap in the open position, and when the tap thaws we will get water coming back out of the tap. As you can see we've got that to 0 degrees now, which has probably thawed out the pipe. So as you can see, by thawing the main incoming stop tap, we've now got water back in the property. You can of course use the freezer bag full of hot water. You can simply hang that on there and leave that for as long as possible, and there's a good chance that that will thaw out the stop tap. And ideally you do need to put one lower down at floor level. If you have a hot water bottle, obviously that would be ideal, and that should enable you to thaw out the pipe. If you're lucky enough to have copper pipes, you can of course use a blowtorch. If you're using a blowtorch, you do have to be very careful, but you can use this set to a gentle heat, and you can gently use that to thaw out the pipe. The important thing with this is to keep it moving. But you can use that to thaw out a frozen copper pipe or any other metal pipe. I hope you found this video useful. If you have and you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel.